Hi, my name is Mrs. Sipko Shah, and in this short presentation I will introduce you to GCSE Art and Design Photography course and explain what the course has to offer and how choosing GCSE photography might be useful to you in the future. If you still have any questions after watching these presentations, please get in touch. At CHSG, we follow the AQA Art and Design Specification, Endorsement Fine Art Photography, and it is a 2-year course. If you are creative, imaginative, willing to take risks, willing to work outside lessons, and really enjoy taking photographs, then you should definitely consider photography as one of your options for GCSE. You do need to be willing to work outside school because you're not going to be able to take all the photographs at school, so you need to take that into consideration. You don't have to own the camera. There's no expectations on anyone choosing photography to own their own camera. We have some cameras at school, but if you just want to learn and you're really interested in photography, then we would love to have you on our course. In Year 9, you will be introduced into a variety of media and techniques to do with photography. You will learn how to use the camera properly. You will learn Photoshop techniques as well as physical manipulations, how to manipulate your photographs, how to edit those. You will learn some basic skills in the darkroom. You will be able to use Studio. As I mentioned before, you're not expected to own the camera. We have some cameras at school and you will be using those. 60% of your final mark for GCSE coursework is made out of 2 projects that you will be completing during lessons and outside the lessons with your teacher's help. You'll be given themes to choose from and it will be your decision how you want to approach those themes. So you have quite a lot of freedom. What do you want to do within those themes? The other 40% of the final grade is the component 2, which is externally set assignment by AQA with a list of starting themes. You will have approximately 12 weeks to complete component 2, followed by 10-hour exam to be completed over 2 days. And again, if you've got any further questions, please ask one of your teachers or come and see me. So I mentioned exam in my previous slide, but actually GCSE photography is one of 2 subjects, art is the other one, that you actually don't sit a typical exam. The exam in photography, which is very similar in art, is the practical exam. It's an exam where you prepare in advance, you know exactly what you're doing, you would have practiced the skills, you will have practiced ideas you want to complete in your exam. So what it is, you're completing a final outcome or series of final outcomes in what we call it exam conditions. So you don't have to study for it. You don't have to do any theory exam. It's a practical piece of work or series of pieces of work that you will create over 2 days at school in exam conditions. How is your work assessed? So your GCSE photography coursework is made out of two components. Component 1 is the portfolio of artwork, which you complete in year 10 and 11, and there is no strict time limit, and it's a 60% of your final grade. Component 2 is the externally set assignment. There is a time limit on this, is around 12 weeks, and it's a 40% of your grade. Now, for both components, you have to show the evidence for all assessment objectives, which I will explain to you in next slide. GCSE photography consists of 4 assessment objectives, which are equally weighted. Assessment objective 1 is all about looking at different artists and trying to understand their work, trying to learn something from them. Assessment objective 2 is all about experimenting and developing ideas, media and techniques. Assessment objective 3 is all about taking photographs and recording your ideas. And assessment objective 4 is all about creating a final outcome, which is like a summary of your coursework, which is personal to you. You have to show evidence for all assessment objectives in your work. So why should you study creative subjects? Well, first of all, for most is hopefully because you enjoy it, because you want to. Second, one of the most obvious reasons is because it's the fastest growing industry in UK at the moment and is worth more than £100 billion. And 1 in 8 UK businesses are in creative industries with over 2.3 million jobs. That's 7% of all UK jobs. The other reason is because you will develop skills that you could transfer and use in other sectors, and skills which are one of the top skills for future jobs, like problem solving, analytical thinking, creativity, resilience, flexibility. All those skills are very important and could be taken and applied in different sectors. So I hope to see many of you choosing GCSE photography, and I really do hope you've enjoyed looking at the amazing work created by our talented students